Tax compliance remains one of the most persistent challenges for tax authorities around the world, and it is even more pronounced in developing economies like Nigeria. Naturally, one would think that many Nigerians don't pay taxes because they don't want to, but the truth is most resist because they don't understand the tax system. As such, while reforms, enforcement, and digital innovations are important strategies to drive compliance, tax education is one of the most overlooked strategies that could drive lasting change. When people understand how taxes work and why they matter, they are far more likely to comply voluntarily. And that is where tax literacy comes in. It bridges the gap between tax authorities and taxpayers, fostering transparency, trust, and sustainable revenue growth. In this video, we will discuss the impact of tax education in solving the global tax compliance crisis, drawing from theoretical insights, global best practices, and local initiatives. Hi, my name is Olatunji Abdulrazak. I am the founder and CEO of taxmobile.online. Welcome to my YouTube channel, A Stitch in Tax Saves Cash. This channel is dedicated to helping you stay on top of your taxes. We will provide you with tips and strategies to help you keep more money in your pockets and minimize your tax liability while you stay in compliance with tax laws. So, if you want to start taking control of your finances from today, hit the subscribe button below and click the notification bells to stay updated on our latest videos. Understanding tax literacy. Tax literacy refers to the ability of individuals and businesses to understand tax laws, obligations, procedures, and rights. It encompasses knowledge of tax types and rates, filing and payment procedures, allowable deductions and reliefs, consequences of non-compliance, access to dispute resolution mechanism. Tax literacy is foundational to developing an informed and empowered taxpayer base. Let's consider how tax literacy drives positive change. 1. Enhancing voluntary tax compliance. One of the strongest arguments for tax education is its direct link to increased voluntary compliance. When taxpayers are educated, they are more likely to fulfill their obligations on time. They make fewer errors in tax returns. They develop a sense of civic duty and responsibility. Voluntary compliance reduces administrative costs for tax authorities and enhances the efficiency of the tax system. For example, the South African Revenue Service (SARS) runs educational programs through schools, universities, and small business clinics. The country has recorded increased online filings and timely tax payments among taxpayers who have undergone such trainings. 2. Reducing tax evasion and avoidance. Ignorance of tax laws often lead to unintentional evasion or exploitation of loopholes. A well-informed taxpayer can distinguish between tax avoidance, which is the legal planning to minimize tax liability, or tax evasion, which is the illegal non-payment or underreporting. Tax literacy encourages individuals and businesses to comply with the letter and spirit of the law, reducing the size of the informal and shadow economies. 3. Promoting civic engagement and government accountability. When citizens understand how tax revenues fund public services, from schools to hospitals, they see tax payment as a shared responsibility. This knowledge fosters a social contract between citizens and the state, leading to willingness to pay taxes, demand for transparency in public expenditure, civic pressure on governments to reduce corruption and waste. For example, countries like Sweden and Norway, where tax education is embedded in civic studies, report high trust in tax system and record-setting compliance levels. Strengthening the informal sector's inclusion. In countries like Nigeria, where over 60% of the economy is informal, tax education bridges the gap between integrating MSMEs into the tax net. Many informal operators fear taxation due to myths, misinformation, or past negative experiences. As such, targeted tax education can demystify tax processes, provide clarity on presumptive tax regimes, encourage the use of simple digital filing platforms, promote a fair, simplified compliance culture. For example, the Federal Inland Revenue Service in Nigeria has launched outreach programs in markets, motor parks, and artisans clusters, using community-based education to drive tax visibility and trust. 5. Empowering tax professionals and intermediaries. Tax education is not only for taxpayers. Tax professionals, accountants, business consultants, and legal advisors must also be updated on evolving tax laws and policies to guide clients accurately. This reduces errors in filings, enhancing advisory quality, and minimizes disputes. As such, professional bodies should prioritize capacity building programs, certification courses, and continuing professional development. 6. Facilitating digital tax compliance. As tax systems are digitalized, tax literacy becomes essential for proper navigation of digital tax portals, reduction in failed filings or multiple entries, compliance with online deadlines and documentation. Without digital tax education, large groups, especially in rural or low-income areas, risk being excluded from this modern system. Now, let's highlight some policy recommendations. To fully leverage tax education as a compliance tool, the following strategies should be put in place. A. Integrate tax education in schools. Civic and business studies curriculum should include basic tax education. Schools can partner with tax authorities to run tax clubs and inter-school tax competition. B. Leverage technology and social media. Create bite-sized content, videos, graphics, podcasts, explaining tax obligations and rights. Use WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube to reach younger audiences. C. Partner with professional bodies and trade associations. Co-host regular seminars, town halls, and workshops. Promote joint advocacy and peer education in business communities. D. Establish tax education units in all tax agencies. These units should focus on strategy, design, outreach, feedback, and curriculum development. Performance of such units should be monitored through KPIs like compliance rates and taxpayer engagement scores. E. Encourage multilingual and inclusive campaigns. Develop content in local languages. Address barriers for women, rural communities, and persons with disabilities. In conclusion, tax education is a tool for nation building that empowers citizens, strengthens economies, and lays the foundation for trust and accountability in every society. For Nigeria and other African economies, making tax literacy a priority across all sectors and communities, formal and informal, rural and urban, individual and corporate, is key to expanding the tax base, reducing evasion, and securing sustainable development. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. If you have any questions or want to share your thoughts, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insightful content. Also remember to watch our previous videos.